Hello, friends. I want to go through the second module's assignment with you and point out a few things that I have seen students have troubles with in the past and hopefully help you to get over that so that you can have a smooth start to your final project. Remember, this is going to be the start of what you're going to turn in at the end of our time together. And so getting this one right is kind of important because you're actually going to be choosing the creative works and the topic that you're going to use for the rest of the class. So let's start with that. First of all, I've had some students miss this very important piece of information right here. You have three choices for topics: diversity, mental health, or activism. You need to pick one of those. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's whichever one really feels like something that matters to you. And that's actually one of my first pieces of advice. Don't just pick the first thing that comes to your mind. Pick something that you really think is going to help you moving forward in your career. Lots of you are psychology majors, for example. Mental health is probably a good place for you to start. Although it may not be. You may have a focus on diverse populations in your work. If that's true, maybe diversity is going to be it. Maybe you're a computer science or game design major, and you're thinking about how you can get more diversity into games or how games can be a source of activism. Listen, you need to go for the thing that really lights you up and makes you excited, because we're going to be working on this for a while. So you first pick a topic, and then you are going to be picking two creative works. And you have to do them from two different categories. Second piece of advice. One of the things that people don't pay attention to is the fact that film is the same category as something like a painting. And they try to pick two visual arts. You can't do that. You need to pick at least one. You need to pick two, and one from two different categories. So maybe you pick a piece of theater and you pick a film. That would be fine, but it does need to be from two different categories. So that is the second piece of advice. Okay, so you have a topic now. You have two creative works, pieces of art that you are using to move forward. Now, how do you pick those creative works? Well, for one thing, you'll notice in this particular segment, we have a lot of what you're going to see in other assignments. You are going to have a lot of resources available to you in supporting materials. And you'll note we do actually have the project resources. Let me get to that. Here we go. So in each of these categories, so if you choose mental health, it has a list of visual works, literary works, performance works. Now, I also want to point something else out to you, and that is at the end, it also has other resources. One thing that people miss because they didn't go into the final project guidelines, which is here, right, is that there is a little tiny thing that you have to do, and it's really hard to find in this, which is you have to have two outside sources. So when you're doing this, you actually may need to use some of these resources in the project resources idea. Now, here's the one thing I do want to say to all of you. Lots of you are gamers, and in each of these categories, there are not a lot, if any, games that you can use as creative works. I very heartily encourage you to use video games as one of your creative works. And please, you need to reach out and let me know what you're thinking about using. If you're using something off of this list, anything off of this list, you have to email me. Not because I want to feel the power of telling you yes or no, but because I know this project really well and I want to make sure that you're set up for success. So just reach out to me via email and let me know if you want to pick something that isn't on this list. But I really encourage you to do that if you have something that you really enjoy, because it's actually going to make this project go faster and be more exciting for you. Okay. Couple of other things I want you to make note of. For one thing, we actually have a project proposal template that you're going to use for this. And I highly recommend that you begin using these templates for each of your module projects immediately, because it's going to set you up to have a much easier time in your final project when we get there. Okay, so easy enough. What I would do right here, you can just highlight this and start off. So you want to answer each of these questions specifically. So, for example, my chosen topic is, let's pick one, diversity. For the creative works, I have chosen, and then you're going to fill that in. I chose these works because, and off you go. Right? Makes sense? Fill that out completely. Don't assume. One of the most dangerous words you can use is the word assume. Don't assume I'm following your thinking. Take me step by step through. I've chosen this topic because I've now picked these creative works because they match with that topic specifically. Think about it like this. Why did you specifically choose these works? Not anybody, not of all the other works on the list, of all the other works that exist in the world. Why did you specifically choose that work? That's really important in this section. Finally, what is it about these particular creative works that helps anyone looking at them or experiencing them to understand that particular topic? That's actually really important. How do we do that? What is it about a painting that helps us understand the world more? This is where you're going to really be describing the creative works much more. What images do you see in the paintings? What are some lyrics from the song that particularly talk about your topic? What are some ways that a character in the book or a line from the poem illustrates something about the topic that really puts it in focus in a different way? Finally, here we go with one of the big ones that people miss, and that is APA format. Now, you might not have ever done APA format before, but you'll notice in our module assignment this week, we actually have a citation guide. When you click on that, you'll go through and look at each one of these specifically. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it right the first time, and that's okay. APA is like a language that you learn, and so one of the things about this class is that I want to help you learn that language. So as you try these, if you make a mistake, don't be worried. I'm going to help you understand why you made the mistake so that when you go not just through this class, but through the further classes, you'll be able to do these more effectively. So do it boldly. Reach out to me if you have questions, and I wish you success this week.